Welcome back to the Wet Pastelist. I'm Avon Waters and I have two paintings that I have to ship to exhibitions. And I'm going to use expensive boxes. Expensive boxes like the AirFloat or the U-line. And I'm going to answer three questions for you. Are those expensive boxes worth it? Another question I'm going to answer is why sometimes they're required. And the last question I'll answer today, developing strategies of how to order and use them. Let me translate what I mean by strategies. I mean, don't make the same mistakes I did. The two ideas I'm going to give you about not making the same mistakes will save you a couple $100. If you're new to shipping artwork across the nation, and you look at the prospectus, you'll see many of them require something called an AirFloat box or StrongBox or a U-line. U-line is another company that provides these art boxes. Typically, the prospectuses require these. And the reason that these boxes are used, I'll discuss that, but primarily they require these to create a uniformity. You can't just pack them up in a regular box with a bunch of foam. Art shipping boxes come in many different brands. StrongBox is one. U-line is an industrial supplier of cardboards, packing materials. They have boxes that are very similar to this, what I'm going to demonstrate today. You can see these boxes have durable handles. These durable handles are reinforced with bars across there. They will pull out. It's just cardboard, but under typical use, normal use, you are looking at having some security as these things are picked up. This is a StrongBox and it comes in two varieties. It has a what they call a liner and they have an unlined. See that black plastic? That is a very tough liner. That liner is a thick plastic and it helps prevent the puncture of anything pushing in from the outside. It's not going to stop a forklift or somebody throwing a knife at it, but the wear and tear, typical wear and tear in the shipping as things, boxes and crates and things get pushed around, it will help protect that. This particular box has that black lining, and while we're on the back side here, you can see that it does have a few puncture spots in there. So if that doesn't look like that, whatever punctured that would have gone through the foam and damaged a painting, but still, you can see how things get banged around. This box has been used 3 times, so they do get beat up. They won't last forever. This box was used 3 times, which means it has gone through shipping to and from 6 times. I imagine I get another 3 or 4 times to use this box. The 2 boxes that I ordered and I'm using today to pack these 2 paintings that are going to go to California for an exhibition, they do not have this liner. And I am going to try that, but I know I've seen this type of plastic someplace that I can get for nothing from somebody. I just can't think of where it is right now. I'm just going to get some of that plastic and put in those unlined boxes, provided of course they come back in one piece. You'll see I have glued into the top of this one of my business cards. This box I took cover off of it's got my website on there. I took the cover off of one of my exhibition trifolds and pasted it in here also. Adding these materials and your address helps possibly if a box label were to be torn off and they open up to see what it is, there may be the ability to get the box back to you. And this particular box held a painting that was about that size. Aha! I was smart enough to make a painting and use a painting and submit a painting that would fit in a box I had. Think about the size of your entries and if you have any of these boxes, make sure that it fits in it. Now the neat thing about these foam is you might not be able to see it here. I'll try to spread it apart. But you see those corrugated, it's corrugated foam. And there are these squares that way, and there's these squares this way. So it's corrugated in both directions. So rather than having to measure this out and cut this out, you just tear at these corrugations or these little stipple points horizontally and then vertically, and you're able to get the piece out you want. But remember, keep your foam. Put it someplace so that when this painting comes back, if you've got to cut out the next layer of foam around the edges, cut out, tear out, then you can add all these pieces together. And if I had a smaller piece that needed to go in the center of this, I wouldn't have to put a bunch of padding around. I could just keep reusing this foam, and that's the beauty of these boxes. And now's a good time to talk about why these boxes sometimes are required. Think, if you're having an exhibition and people are sending in all different sizes and shapes of box and are using bubble wrap, and some people are using packing materials and paper materials that shed, and some boxes have lids, some boxes are just taped shut at the top or the side. Shipping of 50 to 100 pieces from an exhibition would become a nightmare. So it's the uniformity, and this is one of the reasons why when you enter juried shows that are national, international shows and aren't just small organizations, that they require these boxes. It makes unpacking and repacking a breeze. Somebody pulls the painting off the wall, the box is put underneath it, they open the lid, they pull the cover back, they put the piece of artwork into the already opening, they close it, and they then close it. The top comes down, and you'll see the layer here, and you'll see this tucks into this side here. The other side tucks into this side, and you close it down, and it actually says tape here and tape here. You can see I've tried to put my name several places on this box so that if the label comes off, and I did have a label come off of a 4-foot by 5-foot box, and that box was lost for a year, and it found its way back to me, but not through the shipper. You see I've added the do not stack on this box, and I think I'll add that to the other boxes too, because if somebody lays this down on a floor bed and then tries to stack things on top of it, you'd have some problems. It has an arrow here, and it tells the upside. So this is supposed to sit up vertical in a transportation truck or something. Even though the do not lie flat there is on there, my having a label that is white and handwritten, I might be lucky enough that they see this handwritten label, and because all this lettering is uniform, they may not read that do not stack, and so it's just another layer of security. Just be aware that when you try to ship it, this is 2 boxes stacked on top of one another, so there's just one handle on each. Be aware that when these things are shipped, you get a shipping agent at like FedEx or UPS that wants to get really picky with you and try to get some more money. This thing stuck out there, they will measure from here, not from here. So you might want to just tape those down if you see the agent starting to not push this in and try to get your measurement from here rather than around the circumference. Anything to make a buck, especially these UPS and FedEx stores that are run by individuals and more like franchises. With this frame on here, there's a 2.5-inch frame on each side, so that's 5 additional inches. And it really eliminates the use of this box, and I have to go to the next size up. this is maybe a great time to talk about the strategies that don't make the stupid mistake I just did, because I thought this thing would fit in here and ship in a box I already had. And I had to go out and buy an $85 box that wasn't lined. It would have been, I think, about $115 if it was lined. You see that by figuring out if I can find a liner and glue it in myself for free, I'm saving some money. But the other thing, the stupid part and the strategy that I have to develop, and you don't make my stupid mistakes, is once you buy one or two of these boxes, you might need 3 if you enter a lot of shows, but once you buy 2 or 3 of these boxes, know what size of a frame painting it will fit, and plan ahead when you're working on your competition pieces. Plan ahead to not go over those sizes. I was just trying to use up materials in my shop, and I just grabbed these pieces and didn't even think about, oh, if I enter this to a show, it's going to cost extra ship because I don't have a box that will fit this. But this other piece is an 18 by 24, and I knew I didn't have a box for that, but I thought, I'll just order a box. Well, this was even more expensive. So my box has arrived for the 16 by 20. Mistake, mistake, mistake you do not want to do. These websites allow you to put in the picture size that you're going to ship. Well, this is a 16 by 20, but it has a 5-inch molding, 2.5 inches on each side. So in the past, I made the mistake and I got the same size box as I already had, because I was shipping an 11-14, and at that time it had a 3-inch frame around it, and so when the box arrived, it was the same size box I already had, which the 11-14 didn't fit into, and so by not adding the size of the frame to that 11-14, the box didn't work, and I had to order another box. So don't make that mistake. So I already checked. This box is the box with that accommodates this. It gives me a good 2 inches of foam when I break out the foam in this center piece. Remember, there's 3 pieces: the top, the center foam, and then another piece that's just like the top that I pulled off. The center foam piece is the piece that has perforations in it, and I need to find where the perforations are on each side, so that I take out that foam and I set this down in there. I won't bore you with that, but I'll find those perforations and tear that out. I just looked, and the perforations line up perfectly on this side and this side. However, on this side and this side over here, I'm going to have to take a perforation out that is slightly larger than the frame. So I have 2 choices. I could do it on this side, would be the skinny side, and this would be the wide side. Or this side could be the skinny side, and that is the wide side. Well, the one weak part of these boxes is this back side has only 1 layer of corrugation. The front side has 1 layer, but when you pull the lid over the top, it creates 2 layers of protection. So when you run into a situation and you're going to pop out these foam areas, you want the thicker side to be here and the thinner side to be over here. So after placing the frame on there and finding the corners, like I said, you can see here, this is wider because this is only 1 piece of cardboard thick, and this is the narrower side. So just word of caution, if you find out that these perforations don't exactly hit the edge like they did east and west, then north and south, put the most foam where there's on the bottom, where there's least protection. There's double protection on this side. So we'll pull this out of here. And again, keep that, whoops, wrong painting, wrong painting. And you see that fits right in there, nice and snug. Remember, keep this foam that you took out of there, because you may have a different painting and you'll maybe use this box for a smaller painting, and you'll need that to fill back in. So find a place for that, store it until the painting comes back, and then put it in your empty box. You put this on here. This particular show wants a return label, so I will tape it to the top of the box, or if I can find a tape that would stick to this foam, I'd put it here, but I'll put it on the top of the box so that they can pull that label off and put it on. Close up the box, put those two pieces of tape right on the front, and print out my label, and we're ready to go. Well, that's it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you know a little bit more about why and how to use these boxes, and why some of the prospectus and these shows that you ship to require them. So if you don't have to use them, save some money, but if you're entering juried shows across the nation or internationally, these are the boxes and why they have them. So I encourage you to enter national and international exhibitions, but just be prepared. The cost of these boxes is a shocker. But now you know why they have them and how to use them and how to not make my mistakes and lose a couple $100 because you bought the wrong boxes. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for joining me. If you're liking the content of these videos, please hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way to helping others find this, as well as the like button. If you don't want to subscribe, at least hit the like button for us and it'll let others find this content. All right, take care everybody. Bye-bye. Till next time.